Right, well, I think we're gonna get started on the lesson here. So today we're talking about mind-body coherence, and this is not something that I've heard many people talk about, but it's an incredibly useful tool. There are so many amazing benefits to getting your mind and your body working in a state of coherence. Your health is increased dramatically, your intuition increases, you have this sense of connectivity with the world around you, with the people around you. And this overall sense of completion, like you already have all of your needs met. So before we get into mind-heart coherence, I want to talk to you about you as a human being and what it exactly means to be human. So if you took a look at your hand and you studied it under a microscope, what would you see? You would see some cells, right? And then if you took the cells and you put those under a microscope, what would you see? You would see strands of DNA. Now, if you put the strands of DNA under a microscope, what would you find? You would find atoms making up the DNA, different chemicals and components. Now, if you put those atoms under a microscope, what would you see? You would see invisible moving charges, protons, electrons, neutrons, right? Now these invisible moving charges, that's exactly what they are. They're charges. They are not material things. They can be thought of as waves of energy. So the reality of who you are and what you are is not physical at all, is not material, not matter. You are energy in your purest form. You are energy. Right, but now let's go a little bit deeper. These electrons, protons, neutrons that make up your composition, where are they coming from? Where are these waves of energy coming from? Well, one of the laws of science dictates to us that energy can neither be created or destroyed. It's only ever transformed. So what does that mean? It means that the energy that is making us up was never created. It was always here, because you cannot, oh, hold on, I think they're starting to do a little bit of landscaping, so mind the noise, but what I was back to saying was the energy that makes you up was never created, because energy is neither created or destroyed. That means it was always here. And we call this field of energy that literally makes up everything and everyone the field, the one field, unity field, whatever you want to call it. People call it God. Okay, I call it source energy. And it's essentially this realm where only energy exists, right? And what we see is that, we used to think atoms kind of just link together, they have these bonds that they form with each other and they all come together and, by some random process, our human bodies are made. But this is entirely not the case. What you actually are is this pole of energy around which atoms are organizing themselves. Okay, so truly in your essence, you are energy. Now, which two organs in your body are producing the most powerful electromagnetic field? It's your head and your heart. So these two organs are constantly projecting frequency, projecting energy out into the field. Right? And guess what? The field responds back to you. We can think of energy as a form of information. I mean, when you call someone on the phone, where's that voice coming from? It's traveling through the air, right? It's traveling through sound waves. So energy is really information. Now we know that thoughts are a form of information and a form of energy, and emotions are also a form of information and energy. We can measure your thought waves about 1 inch away from your brain, right? So your brain is constantly just pulsing out these electric impulses out to the field, and that's what we call thought. Now your heart has a much more powerful electromagnetic field than your brain. This electromagnetic field can be measured up to 3 meters away from your body. So what does that tell us? It tells us that the feelings that we are projecting out into the field actually have a much greater effect of our life, of the information we're communicating, right? And therefore the response that we're getting back, than your thoughts do. And this is why we see so much disconnect in the things people say they want, the things people desire to have, and then the actual results and behaviors that they're carrying out in their life, right? There's usually a disconnect between what you want and what you want mentally and what you're physically doing. So when we're able to bring our body into the state of mind-heart coherence, where we now have the frequency being projected by our thoughts and the frequency being projected by our hearts in phase with one another, by that I mean their peaks and their troughs are alignment. So it's like this. This is what your brain and your heart are going to be doing. What happens then is the amplitudes of those waves get added together and we have constructive interference happening. So the message is going to be way more potent. And if your thoughts and your heart are aligned, sending out the same message to the universe, think of just how powerful that's going to be. Now, instead of thinking one thought over here and having this frequency, and then your emotions over here are having this frequency and they're causing destructive interference, you're literally canceling out whatever you were trying to do. Except let's remember that our hearts are far more powerful than our heads. So that's why you can never really think greater than how you feel, right? Because your feelings are just this powerful, powerful electromagnetic field being produced, and your thoughts might be competing with that field. That's a state a lot of people are in right now. It's just the state of incoherence, the state of competition, and not really being in alignment with what they truly want in life and how they truly want to feel in life. So, what can we do? What can we do to fix this? Well, there's some really simple steps to get your body and your mind in a state of coherence. And I'm going to share those steps with you in just a moment. But I want to point out one more thing. It's really interesting, and they've measured this, that when people come into this state, they change into a frequency of 0.01 hertz. That's the frequency that can be measured when your mind and your heart are working together. Now, coincidentally, the frequency of Earth's electromagnetic field is also 0.01 hertz. So not only are you syncing, your two most powerful organs, you're also syncing with the electromagnetic field of the Earth. And every person and everything on the Earth is generating an electromagnetic field. So when you're in alignment with Earth's electromagnetic field, now you have a greater connection to every other person and thing in that field, colliding with that field, right? So not only are you going to have more, you're going to have more control over the message you send out, right? Because this is how I think of it. We have the heart producing this really powerful voltage, right? Through your feelings, you're projecting this voltage. And now with your thoughts, you can concentrate that voltage. You can focus it. You can focus it towards a very precise intention, right? And that's what it's all about. It's about projecting the field you want and then focusing it on an intention, right? So you're going to be able to project the field, but you're also going to be able to receive information back, not just in the form of your outside results, right? Because that's how the field responds to us. The field responds by saying, oh, this is the message you're sending out. Let me arrange matter for you, right? Because matter is arranged around energy. Let me arrange the matter for you to show you exactly what message you've been sending me. The universe always says yes. Now, wouldn't it be nice if before you started seeing the outside results, you could get these intuitive hunches, this intuitive guidance to kind of show you the direction you're heading, show you where you might want to direct your energy in a different way. That's exactly what happens is, you're going to start receiving information. You're going to start receiving information through your feelings. Now, most of the time, this information never makes it up the brainstem and into the brain, into the mind, because the mind and the heart are not in alignment. But what if they were? Then all the information that you would be receiving from the universe that would come into alignment with your, this massive electromagnetic field generated by your heart, now you're going to be able to consciously be aware of the message that's coming back to you. You're going to get a thought or an image in your mind, a hunch, and it's going to be showing you, okay, this is maybe the track I'm on. This is maybe where I should be aligning myself. So that's what we call intuition. It's the ability to consciously pick up on the messages, the other fields and interactions that are happening within your electromagnetic field and the world around you. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the 3 steps that you need to do to get your mind and heart in a place of coherence. Now, the first step is going to be to close your eyes, because of course, we cannot be connected to our inner environment while we're connecting to the outer distractions. So we need to close our eyes and focus all of our intention on the feelings within us. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to place our hand over our heart. Now, this is an ancient technology. A lot of shamans and monks, the monks do this, right? It's all this practice of touching yourself here. And it's interesting because when somebody asks, like, who are you? You'll be like, oh, I'm Sophia. This is how we refer to ourselves, because this is, where most of our energy is being concentrated and projected from. So we place our hand on our heart because it sends a signal to our mind to transfer our awareness to our heart. And you'll feel the shift happen. You'll feel it. You can even do it now and just place your hand over your heart and see where your attention goes. It goes to wherever you've placed your hand, right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start to slow our breathing down. We're going to do about 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. And this is really important because it sends a message to your body that you are safe. Now, we know, right, that the body is either in fight or flight or it's in rest and repair. Most of the time, people live in constant stress, right? So they're constantly in this fight or flight. And when you're in fight or flight, you're just so absorbed with the material realm that you won't be able to tune into these frequencies. You won't be able to tailor your mind and heart to be able to project, the proper message that you want to send out, because you're just going to be so absorbed in that stress, right? But when you're in a state of, let's just put it this way, whenever you're not in that fight or flight mode, healing begins instantly. And that's why when you start to slow your breathing down and you send that message like, I am safe, so many amazing things start to happen. Your immune system goes up. Your blood starts to circulate better. Your body gets to work clearing out all the toxins, that might be there. Your body literally can produce a pharmacy of drugs way better than any drugs or any doctors that we have today, okay? But you have to be in this state of coherence. You have to be sending out the message like, I am safe. It's okay to start doing the repair work. We don't need to be in survival mode right now. So that's what slowing the breath does, okay? And then the last step is to focus on a feeling of either gratitude, care, compassion, or appreciation. These were the 4 emotions that they found worked best when it comes to putting yourself in a state of mind-body coherence. And today, for the exercise that we're going to do, I would recommend that we all focus on the emotion of gratitude, because the emotional signature of gratitude means I have received, right? That is the message you're communicating, is I have received. Thank you. So your body believes that it's already receiving. And in this emotion, you literally draw yourself closer to infinite source of creation, right? Because if you believe you're already receiving, then what is the universe going to say? It's going to say, yes, you are already receiving. Here, let me give you some stuff, right? So why don't we do this now? We're going to do a little exercise so you can really feel what it means to be in a state of mind-body coherence. All right, so I'm going to invite you now to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Ready? We're going to do it together. In, out. Now we're going to go again. In, and we're going to hold for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to invite you to place your hand over your heart and continue with that breathing. I'm going to do one with you guys, all right? Now you might instantly feel a little bit of warmth around your chest area. You might feel a little tingling sensation start to move out from your heart and envelop the rest of your body, and just let it be, okay? Surrender to that feeling. Keep breathing in and out slowly. Feel all your muscles start to relax. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your arms, in your torso or your back, in your legs. Just let it all go. Let it all melt away. Now I want you to bring your attention back to where your hand is placed, back to your heart. And I want you to think of something that you are truly grateful for. It could be anything. It could be your family, your friends. It could be a new opportunity that was presented to you. It could be a beautiful memory that you have that you will always cherish in your life. And I want you to almost imagine that you can see everyone else on this call sitting in a circle around you, breathing and feeling grateful with you. Doesn't matter if you're watching this as a replay, all right? In the quantum field, all is happening now. You can still tune into this energy that we're projecting together. Now feel that gratitude amplify. Feel it, really lean into it. Allow it to spread all throughout your body and just surround you. Feel grateful for everything, every human being on this earth. Feel grateful for this earth, for this beautiful planet that we get to call our home. And know that as you do this, you are literally syncing yourself with the energy of Mother Nature, syncing yourself with the energy of life. Now when you're ready, you can come back to this present moment and open your eyes. And I would love to hear some feedback to know how that made you feel. How are you feeling right now in this moment? Has anything changed? Because that's what it feels like when you have your mind and your body and the energy of the world all synced as one. From this state, this is an extremely, extremely powerful state to be in. Because if you can train yourself to know what it feels like to have your mind and heart working as one, then you can train your body to follow the directions that you give it, instead of being a slave or a victim to, oh, I don't have any energy today. Oh, I'm feeling kind of lazy today, or I just don't feel like it, right? Now you're going to be able to recognize when what you truly want and desire and what you are physically doing in your body, right, unconsciously, is not in alignment because you know what it feels like when it is. And the more you practice this state, the easier it's going to get for you to give your body a command and for your body to follow it. You're training yourself to override the program. You're training yourself to override the subconscious. You're training yourself to be the master of your body. And you're also training yourself to be able to pick up on the frequencies all around you. You know now what it feels like to communicate a message of gratitude and thanks and abundance to the universe. So don't let this be the last time that you do it, because every time you do it, you are going to see an exponential growth. And you're going to see an exponential expression of that feeling just pour through you. It really only gets better from here. So I want to thank you all for joining me on this call today. And I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.